podcast is all unofficial. None of the conversations or comments from us or guests represent DoD or the armed forces.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We are tonight's entertainment.
You said you talked to Sherman. Y'all got
what up?
No, we were. Oh man,
We live.
Didn't know that. Yeah, just figure that out.
It's time!
Yes, sir. Welcome back to Unpopular Celebrity. We are bringing you guys more episodes.
I just love the way you still use that same intro, even though you know I hate it.
Yeah.
You're consistent. I'll give you that much.
Thank you.
Yeah.
What's up, people? Everybody in the building. I got a little cold I'm getting over, so hopefully my cough is not annoying. But we're going to bring y'all some topics tonight. Quicker show, but more structured show. So it's not going to be your impromptu so much. But y'all are still welcome to comment on everything that you hear. Might not be reading as many comments, but you're more than welcome to allow to comment. Philly, over to you for introductions.
So if we can put this in perspective, and you might have captured it, but can you relay again? This will not replace the normal Sunday programming, correct?
Correct.
This is in addition. All right, good. So welcome everybody to another episode of Unpopular Celebrities. I am one of the co-hosts, Philly DC, along with the engineer to my right, maybe on your left. He is Pete, and then our other two members who is out in the world getting business done, Jessica Playa, and as well as Del Brown. Over there in Kusan Air Base, Korea, Reds in the Wire open fire. We are your Unpopular Celebrities. So, as Pete said, we're going to get into a couple of topics tonight. There'll be some quicker hitters. Just something new we're going to try to kind of get some more information out to you guys. Feel free to comment as always and like, share, subscribe. If you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel, go ahead and do that. Go over to the YouTube channel, hit subscribe, and hit that bell. So every time we do a show, it'll be able to come up and you'll be able to see it and you can catch up with your boys and your gal.
For sure. Good introduction. I got to take this headphone off. I'm still lagging. All right. So quicker show, but we'll go right into it. How do I start this? You were stationed at Kirtland once upon a time?
Holloman. But I've been to
Holloman.
Kirtland a couple
Okay.
times,
All
yeah.
right. Well, at Kirkland, New Mexico, is that the better of the New Mexico bases?
Debatable, but yeah, I would say that's more city, more built up than Holloman and Cannon. It's a lot of gang activity in Kirtland.
Oh, okay. Well, interesting enough. Title at the Air Force Times. This was you can find this in the Air Force Times. An airman dead after shooting at Kirkland Air Force Base. So you have, I think his name is Brian. It's Brion. I think I'm pronouncing that right. Teal Scott, age 27, got into a shootout with the members of the front gate at 2 a.m. I think this was Saturday. Pretty sure this was Saturday. So just reading the article, young Scott looked like he was a detainee and escaped or was trying to escape. Dead after attempting to escape an attempted detention, as the Air Force news release said. Pretty interesting. So as I continue to read, an incident occurred outside the base's Truman Gate Saturday during early morning hours at the 377th Security Forces. Personnel responded to the scene at 2 a.m. The arriving security forces resulted in a shooting during which an airman was shot in the hand, the release said. Security forces found, it says found, but security forces found Teal Scott dead at the scene, and then the cause of death is under investigation. There's no current threats to the public, the base said in this release. I've never been caught in a shootout at a gate before, especially not with one of my own. Kind of interesting dynamic to which this happened. I don't know if anybody's listening is stationed at Kirkland, but hopefully if this was one of your friends or fellow colleagues, sorry for the loss, regardless how it is. But pretty sad to hear that a member of our community is dead, regardless on how it happened or why it happened, but he is. But with all this being said, hopefully the defenders did their job, what they were supposed to do. And if they took this member down after shooting them, that's fine. I know I've heard other reports say things were a little bit different, said that this member came up to the gate, was going to receive paperwork and started shooting at the people at the gate, shot somebody in the hand, somebody returned fire, shot him and killed him. Your thoughts, if you have any?
Yeah, I guess it's mixed stories. From what I read, it was this individual that was he was a security forces member too, and he had a history of issues. He was already going through a potential court-martial proceeding for usage of cocaine and domestic abuse. And so I believe he asked his command team to be discharged under other than honorable conditions. So he was awaiting for that. And so apparently he approached the gate in his vehicle, and the defenders at the gate, they did a traffic stop because he had expired registration. So during the traffic stop, one of the defenders smelled marijuana. So after that, things got out of hand. The individual in question departed the gate, and the thing that is still trying to figure out for me, that's still confusing, is that he sped away and the defenders chased him.
Right.
It was off the installation.
Yep.
And so in the report I read, it didn't specifically say, they said he had a weapon, but it didn't specifically say that he pointed it at the defenders. Now, it would lead you to believe that perhaps he did, because one of the defenders that was involved in the chase was shot in the hand. So I'm believing it may have come from the suspect in question, but the defenders ended up shooting him, and he's dead. So in the article I read, courtesy of, I won't mention it because I can't remember. Fudge. My mistake. I'm sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. But his father actually was contacted by the Security Forces Squadron's Kirtland's commander and he offered his condolences. But the father is a little upset that he believes that he wasn't given all the information on why his son was killed. He doesn't understand why the defenders shot him. And so his father described him, of course, as a a good kid who wasn't a criminal, but he wasn't cut out for military service.
Okay.
And that's the reason why he was going to get into some problems. And apparently the individual that was killed has a daughter. And he said he was looking forward to getting out the military and taking care of his daughter, spending more time with his daughter and all that other stuff's kind of sad. So, but like I said, this individual did have a history of using illegal drugs while being assigned to the Air Force. So, yeah, tragic story.
So first of all, this just illustrates that we always say you don't know what's going to happen on the day in the life of a security forces member. I'm sure that when they woke up this morning, they did not think that this was going to happen, nor would anybody think it. So please, when you see, if you are in the military and see these members at the gate, pay them the respect that they need, because this is not easy for anybody. I know it wouldn't be easy for me if I had to go through something like this. It's never easy to pull a gun out and shoot somebody. Nor is it easy, especially if they knew this person. Regardless how you feel about somebody, it's not easy.
Right.
But they are paid to do a job. And shout out to the members who did the job. Hopefully it was a lawful shooting and a lawful what ended up being a death. And we'll move on from here. But it's going to be tough for that team, tough for the commander, and tough for anybody to go through that. It's not easy at all. So don't think that these members at the gate, security forces, just have low ASVAB scores and that's it. They have a very, very, very a job that can get complicated quick. And I will be the first to say, no matter how much training you can go through, nothing can prepare you for the actual. So hopefully they did everything right. And, if something went a little bit wrong, that's okay too, in my opinion. Last thoughts.
Right. Yeah. I think a couple of things that unpack from this when you pull the thread. One, the idea that, this has always been discussed for many years when it comes to the security forces career field. I think it's a career field for some reason, because we have so many folks in the career field. There are a lot of folks that ended up in the career field because they came in open general. And you can argue a lot of the folks, I don't have the statistics, but at least when I was in the cop squadron, a lot of folks that come in open general probably should not be defenders. Not all open general, but there are some. To me, can we agree that you have to have a certain mindset and maturity to be a police officer?
Yes.
Whether it be security forces, military police, whatever you want to call it. You are carrying a weapon and you are charged to enforce the law, which is a lot of responsibility. I would argue that the Air Force in general needs to do or create a program to screen folks that come into the career field. Mental health checks, more stringent background checks. And if they do not meet this requirement or the criteria, they should not be defenders. Now, of course, would that reduce our numbers? It could, but you have more quality folks. And I think in the end, you have a case like this. Maybe this individual, when he came in, was to whatever degree qualified. But, I was always told as a badge wearer, that's the worst thing you want to do is break the law. You enforce the law. You don't want to break the law. So you had that. And then the final thing, too, is the piece of not only folks being able to be qualified mentally to be a defender, but also the perception of folks, what defenders do. Like, people get this idea you're on a military base, nothing happens.
Right.
I mean, these folks at JBSA, at San Antonio, Lackland, they were shot at 2 months ago from some off-base folks. And so it is a very dangerous job. And I think we give them credit, but I think they deserve even more credit, especially for those young defenders that's carrying a weapon every day.
Yeah.
So, tragic story.
Way to end that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What else is on your mind?
So, speaking of making sure folks are mentally prepared for positions and such, about a year ago, before Chief Master Sergeant Air Force Flossie got in the seat, and Simsaf Bass was in the seat. There was a perception of folks around the Air Force who are not following standards, from uniform wear, from beards, you name it. And this perception was not only just a perception, but it came from across the enterprise, from all different ranks, from junior enlisted, senior enlisted, officer, you name it. And so now with Chief Master Sergeant Air Force Flossie in the seat and CSAF, the chief himself, Chief of Staff General Alvin, they came out with some information about a couple of months ago about standards readiness reviews. And so folks who don't know what standards readiness reviews is, it's pretty much an initiative for folks to get, I would call it, back to basics, to have your commander in leadership have you come out and inspect you to make sure your uniform is not only squared away and you're wearing it correctly, but not only that, to do an eye-to-eye, face-to-face look to assess your condition mentally, physically, and spiritually, and then to make sure you are ready to go to work and deploy if need be. So what I want to talk about is it's amazing all of the backlash I've heard for these SRR, status readiness reviews. There is a narrative, and it seems like it's mostly from the younger crowd, at least from my perspective, that believe this is a waste of time and a form of micromanaging.
Okay.
And the thing that baffles me is this not the military? Am I missing something? I mean, if you have a service dress uniform, how hard is it to put your uniform on, be at a certain place at a certain time, and have your leadership inspect your uniform? What am I missing?
So interesting. I mean, I do understand. I don't agree. Let me be frank. I understand if you have heard people say a form of micromanaging. I understand the thought process. I agree with what you're saying. This is the military. And if there needs to be something called a standard readiness review, it's no different than going out to PT and having a formation before you start physical fitness, stretching, or calisthenics or whatever. All this is showing up in a uniform, a particular uniform, and getting inspected. Nobody's getting kicked out. Nobody's getting fired. Nobody should be getting letters of reprimand or counseling or 15s or any punishment behind it. It should be, let me check on my formation. You're jacked up. You look perfect. Keep it up. Fix your wingman. Fix yourself. Fix whoever. Hey, guys, thanks for coming out. Almost like a commander's call type thing. Thanks for coming out. Appreciate for what you do. Everybody knows what they need to fix. Everybody needs to know what they need to keep going. Have a good day. Thank y'all. That's what I think. And I think if people wrap their head around if that's what it's supposed to be, that's all it is, it's not that bad. It's however you want to designate it, once a year, once a month, once a week, whatever it is. And for members of the security forces who we just got done talking about, it happens every day. So for most people, it shouldn't be that big of a deal. For the largest career field in the Air Force, it shouldn't be that big of a deal. For everybody else, they're probably like, what the hell?
Yeah, I guess what I'm trying to figure out is why would people assume that is micromanaging?
I can see it because it hasn't happened before. And so you're looking at it as like, why now? Why all of a sudden now? Like if I've been in for 5 years, 6 years, 8 years, 10 years, 20 years, like why now? It ain't never happened before.
Yeah, I mean, I see that point. Maybe it's the shock because we haven't been doing it. And if in that case, I can understand and empathize why young folks would think this is a shocker. Anytime you do something that you normally don't do, it's change. Change is hard. But at the same time, I would argue, just put your goddamn uniform on. It's not that serious. And then you see these posts online showing like clothing sales out of uniforms, whatever. Bruh, like, do you not get a clothing allowance every year? You're going to be upset because you're going to get inspected in your service dress blues. And you're upset at clothing sales because they're out of blues.
So back
Who cares? Like,
Ba-
that's your fault. You should
back
have
to
been had that stuff squared away. Then let me finish my rant. Then
Yes,
it was
sir.
some maintainers. It's about, oh, these maintainers don't never wear their service dress uniforms. That's the problem.
Yep.
Just because you don't wear them don't mean you can't maintain them. It's part of your uniform wear. Rant over.
So I'll say, yes, I agree. But this is the problem with most things. Nobody wants to be the bad guy.
True.
And when I say the bad guy, make people do things that are uncomfortable or change. And so once a bigger guy or bigger girl says, hey, we're going to do this change, everybody's like, it's not fair. It's not fair. To me, I'm just like, as we were taught up, you should always be ready with all your uniforms. Is that a little bit crazy? Yeah.
Yep.
Like, do I have my full service dress ready 24 hours a day, 7 days a week? There might be a couple months where I just throw it in the closet, haven't touched it for like 6-8 months, and it's just sitting in the closet. So I definitely get it. But all you gotta do is throw it in the dry cleaner. Now, if it don't fit, if you gain 40 pounds and it don't fit, and you haven't got a new one because it's expensive, well, in that progress of gaining 40 pounds, whether it was 5 years, 2 years, or 2 minutes, you should have had your stuff fixed to look at. I don't know why this is not working. Shoot.
We're not live anymore, are we?
No, we're live. No. The bad thing about it says, no, it's not crazy. This is how we were trained, but it's not coming up on the Streamlabs. Anyway, go ahead. It's something easy I can fix, but go ahead.
Yeah, I think in the end, I don't have an issue. It's just it made me realize how different things are. And I get it. There were folks who came in before us that was like looking at us like, oh, you mean to tell me they use leather luster besides regular bit polish? They're lazy. And then we was like, yo, they're not ironing their uniforms with Stay Flow? How lazy. So I get that. I just think it is to me, is a clear indication of how young people are today. Not all. Let me be clear. Not all. But a good majority of our young folks that don't get the concept that this is the military. And in the military, we're going to ask you to do things that may not be convenient for you, but it's to get after a certain purpose. And these standards readiness reviews are not just ways to think of to make you to make it inconvenient for you to put on another uniform and stand at attention and have somebody look at your ribbons and pick you apart. It's not that. Can we agree that is a form of discipline for you to make sure your uniform is squared away? Not only that, security forces folks have been doing, I don't know if they're doing it as much as they used to, but what is called guard mount, where every day you come to guard mount and you stand in formation. Some days you may not get an inspection, some days you don't. But I remember, and I hate to be that guy, as an old dude, you knew that an inspection was coming sometime at the beginning of your tour. And so you would have your guard mount boots and then you would have your regular boots. You did not want to get caught short when they said, open ranks, march. You're like, shit.
Right. Oh, right. Yes, sir.
You don't want to be that person because it's not pretty. And the funny thing is, you can hear a pin drop in there. And they walk up to you, they try to whisper like, your boots look like shit.
Yep.
Where's your flashlight? Your beret looks like ragu.
Right.
Get it squared away.
Right.
And they do that. And they just tip it off. And then somebody pull you to the side like, Council, your boots look like trash. I'll tell you. Anyway, so to sum this all up, guys and gals, airmen, big A airmen, it's not that big a deal. I'm going to get inspected in my uniform too. It's not a big deal. Shout out to General Alvin and Chief Master Sergeant Air Force Flossie for doing this. Or is it Floozy?
Anyway.
Flossie.
Sure.
Anyway, shout out to them for doing this. I think it's a great thing. And to add another cherry on top, if you got a shaving waiver, bruh, just get reevaluated again. It's not that big a deal.
I will say, look at Thomas White. In maintenance, we had the inspection BDUs and work BDUs. I don't even know what a work BDU. You had inspection BDU uniform and work BDU. Yeah, we have work BDU boots and then inspection boots. So you go to guard mount with one boot on, go to the car, go to your locker, and put on your work boots afterward, just in case they said, hope it ranks. Like you said, like, damn it.
Yep.
And you know what? The crazy part is, you know what's jacked up about you. So like, oh, they're going to, hope they don't see this. I hope they don't see this, but they're going to find it. And don't forget, for everybody that's having heartache over these inspections, one more thing I'll say, I'll be quick so you can take the final word. They are meant to put eyes on you and have a quick look at your mental health, your physical health, emotional, if possible, and all that is incumbents. It's not just let me get on you for a jacked up uniform. So don't forget that.
Right.
Any final thoughts?
Yeah. Like I said, just it's not that big a deal, y'all. I think it's a good thing. You NCOs out there, like you supervisors to the lowest level, do the right thing and make sure your troops are squared away.
Right.
Makes you know when, and the funny thing is, it's not like guard mount where you don't know when it's going to happen. You know when the SRRs are coming.
Yeah.
Because we pick a date and it's every quarter and it's broadcasted.
Yeah.
You know when it's coming. Get your people together.
Yeah.
Don't sell them up the river and they just show up and they stuff is all jacked up. Final word. Yes.
Good thoughts. Shouldn't be that bad. My bad. I had a cough. Moving on. So let Thomas White get one final word in on this category, and we'll switch up topics. Two more topics that we want to talk about tonight. And it's not only the first sergeant's job. You're freaking right. Mm-hmm. He says not only the first sergeant's job.
I agree. Yeah, I agree.
All right, shout out to you. All right. Elon Musk is killing Tesla.
Boo!
His lack of integrity, lack of internal consistency, and deep fantasies leading are now on full displays for the world to see. This was written by, I think it's Planet and Earth and Beyond, Will Lockett on March 4th, which is today. Not only is Elon killing Tesla, but you have another car company that is assisting and going to put the final nail in Tesla. So Tesla sales for EUs are down 45% despite the EV market growing 37%. Tesla's share prices has plummeted 41%, which I'm a part of that. So that doesn't help at all. And Polestar is trying to, if you don't know, Polestar is written by VW or made by VW Volkswagen, and they have a electric vehicle. So it says Polestar. So Musk is killing Tesla. Polestar wants to deliver the final blow. Polestar was offering, I think it's over, but I think this week they were offering, or last week, they were offering Tesla drivers $20,000 discount for new Polestars if they trade in their Tesla. $20,000 discount. This is brought up in a couple ways. So you have to lease a Polestar Model 3. They will give you $5,000 off if you lease a new car and trade in your Tesla. $5,000 off, and then you get a tax rebate. They are doubling that tax rebate. It's usually $7,500. They're making it $15,000, which makes it $20,000 off for trading in your Tesla. First initial thoughts. I'll go into more details.
Man, I never even heard. You said Polestar, that's what it's called? I
Polestar.
never even heard of them dudes.
Yeah, they're Polestar is the EV only version of a VW. So it would be like what's Toyota, the luxury brand is Lexus.
Yeah.
Polestar is VW's EV brand.
Okay. All right. In that case, first of all, for all you folks who drive a Tesla, I feel bad for you. I feel bad for you because I don't know. I would argue, I never owned a Tesla, but I would argue Tesla is not the same as it was when it first started.
No.
Before Elon became big, Tesla was like one of those cool vehicles only the elite class would have. But now, with the way things are now, I wouldn't be happy to have a Tesla. But anyway, Polestar is smart. I think they're probably thinking with this current climate, there are some people who probably are not happy with Elon Musk and is willing to get out of being in a Tesla. There's probably some people that get like the finger on the highway for driving in a Tesla. So Polestar is smart, $20,000 discount. That's a
$20,000.
heck of a discount.
So here's the
But
kicker.
you know, I'm not an electric car fan anyway. I think they're the devil. You know what I'm saying? Hey, gasoline all the way, but I get it. I mean, it's a good idea on Polestar's part.
So here's the kicker. It's a SUV vehicle, so it compare to the Tesla Model Y. If you want to look it up, you can look it up so you can see what the EV looks like as well. The price normally, so you remember with most EV cars, you can't negotiate price. You buy them all online now. You can't really negotiate too much. I think Polestar is like that, just like Tesla. You can't negotiate the price. What you see is what you get. You can't negotiate anything. It's not like if you go to Kia and go get their EV or Hyundai, you can negotiate the price a little bit. I think Polestar is the same way, but don't quote me on that. But the normal retail is $79,400 for this Polestar Model 3. $79,000. Yeah, exactly.
What?
Exactly. It's
what?
It's not
Polestar, what?
Yeah.
Bruh,
79,000.
man.
And that's for the lowest model. It can get up to 99,000. So
why?
Yeah, it's expensive. It's expensive. So if you're thinking it's a $50,000 car, you're gonna save $20,000 and it's gonna be $30,000. No. It's $70,000 to start. No. It's gonna go down to $59,000. So now what do you think? Now what do you think?
Oh, hell no.
Let me tell you, as a Tesla driver, I almost did it. I was like,
what?
20 grand? Oh, I'm in there. $15,000 off my taxes? Oh, I'm in there. And then I seen how much it cost. And you're not getting $20,000 off the retail. That's after everything is said and done. This is how much you'll be paying on the car. But the car, you're still going to be making payments. Like the car is, they'll give you $5,000 off, so $54,000 car. So you're still making $600, $700, $800 payments, depending on how much you put down and stuff. So
wait a minute. So is a Polestar normally more than a Tesla?
So this Polestar is the brand new one. So they have a Polestar 1, 2, and 3. This is the third one. So are they normally more? They're the third one is. The third one's a lot more. The second one, no, it was more. It was more. Yep. I'll just say they're more all the way around. Now remember, 79,000 is like the lowest level Polestar. That's just the start. The one that I was looking at was 96,000. I was like, oh, I ain't got 96,000. I don't make that goddamn much.
Bruh, man, so, I cannot believe it costs that much for a Polestar. Polestar. I never heard of that brand.
I can't believe you never heard of it.
No, I never heard of it.
Dang, that's crazy.
So wait a minute. Forgive me. What did I miss? Why didn't you do it?
Because it's too much. I got dang $90-something thousand.
Because of the price.
Correct. That's all it was.
I thought maybe because you were loyal to Tesla. That's why.
No. I'm actually ready to get rid of my Tesla, to be honest.
Why?
Because of everything that's going on. I think.
Really?
Yeah, I think people have convinced me with what's going on that I don't want to be looked at as a supporter by just because I'm driving the
Really?
vehicle. Now, I'm not
This is
in a
interesting.
rush to go out and go get a new car. But right now, I think what the Tesla I have too, it's about what Tesla I have. If I had a brand new 2024 Tesla, I wouldn't be thinking this. But since my Tesla's a little bit older, it's the base model one. I'm ready to move on and something different.
Hmm,
So I think that that's
interesting.
more or less of the reason why. But there's also that other factor as well.
Very interesting. That's just, I guess the reason why I keep saying that is because it's amazing how things quickly change.
Yes.
And
Yes.
the public perception, loyal customers, and how decisions that are made may impact the way, as a consumer thinks when they have a product. That's interesting.
Yeah. So,
Hmm.
oh, I'm sorry. This was last week, the deal. So the deal's not on no more. But Jordan Hoffman, who's Polestar US head of sales, said that this week saw some of the highest order days for Tesla, or excuse me, for Polestar Model 3s. And the response to our Tesla Conquest offers, as they call it, the Tesla Conquest offers, has been incredible. So, you know what this tells me? They're going to do it again.
So you think this is just, you think consumers that are maybe flocking to Polestar is kind of like a big middle finger or dig to Tesla on
Oh,
purpose?
that's all it is.
Interesting.
I think Polestar is doing this because of everything. And then people are saying, yep, I've been waiting to get rid of this. This is a reason for me to get rid of it.
So this I had to ask a question then. So it's going to be difficult asking you, knowing the type of person you are.
This is crazy. This is crazy.
But
This is
like, case
crazy.
in point, here's the thing: if somebody were to tell me that Nintendo didn't like U.S. veterans, I would still buy Nintendo. I would still buy it. I was like, look, I'm still buying that joint. I know y'all don't like me as a servant. I'm not saying Nintendo say that. I'm just saying hypothetical.
Right.
This reminds me of, they'll say like, oh, did you know Gucci didn't like, minorities wearing their sweaters? And I forgot the rapper name. It was like, he's like, I'm going to Gucci. It's like, but you don't know, I'm going to Gucci. So I'm just curious if obviously you're not that loyal to Tesla because you actually was thinking about switching.
I'm not loyal to any really brand. But I think, like I said, there's more to it than that. But because the Tesla I have, it's a little bit older. I've been looking to get a new car just because I like new cars. That was a deal that happened. I was looking to take advantage of it.
Okay.
All right. But that's if y'all want to go get. And you know what? They even said that you only have to show proof you have a Tesla.
Wow.
So
he's like, I got a Tesla, $20,000
$20,000
off.
So,
20 G's off. But shoot, I mean, to your point, it's $90-some thousand out the gate for some of them.
Yeah,
That's
79.
crazy.
And then if you want to put some more package and stuff on it in long range and stuff like that, you're looking at 80, 90,000. Easily.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy,
All right, last topic for tonight. Go ahead, DC, off to you.
Yo, man, like, come on, y'all, man. I will say this by saying, come on, y'all, man. So, I had an interesting day today, real quickly. I had a tire that was flat, so I couldn't drive the main car to work. So I had to drive the other car. But today I had a tow truck come pick it up. So when I was in the tow truck, I met this tow truck, which is rare for me, but it's either that or take the tire off. And your boy ain't got time for that. So I got a tow truck. And I meet this gentleman who's driving the tow truck. And we get in this conversation. He tells me that he's 54 years old. He was just retired and he came back off retirement. So I was like, why would you come back off retirement? So he said, yeah, I was about to retire, but my wife was diagnosed with cancer. Like, anyway, a form of cancer. And because of that, I guess the procedure to get her, to help her from, be cured from cancer, or to get cancer out of her system, was going to cost about, a whole crap load lot of money.
Okay.
But what was interesting is he said none of the doctors or hospitals he went to took Obamacare. And so he had to pay out of pocket. So he paid over $98,000
A
to get
Polestar.
his wife treated. Oh, yeah. $98,000 to help his wife, which we would all do. I mean, it's our wives, our husbands, we would do. But the sad thing was he had Obamacare and nobody would take it. So that's story one. It depleted all his savings. You know, thank God, praise God, his wife is doing better, but it deleted all his savings. Then, after I get to the tire shop, I take an Uber back to my house to get my other car, which I don't usually take Uber, but I did this time. So I get in the car. There's another gentleman by the name of Wesley. He's of Asian descent. I believe he may have been Chinese or Taiwanese based on the language I saw on his iPad. But anyway, we're talking. I'm in uniform. He says, "Thank you for your service." I say, "Hey, appreciate it." I say, "Hey, thank you for picking me up." He said, "I love you guys. You know, I used to serve you guys till now." So I said, "What do you mean by that?" "Well, I just got fired from the VA. I was a contractor over there, and I helped service members. But, you know, they let me go. So, you know, of course, I'm like, oh, man, I'm sorry to hear that, man. Like, I'm sorry." I was like, "Well, how do you feel about that?" And he said, "You know what? I understand. Like, the government's got to make cuts. You know, we got to find ways to make money and stuff. But, you know, it just sucks because I just want to help service members, but I can't because they had to let me go." And then fast forward to my final piece to this story is I watching CNN last night, and there was a gentleman on there. I can't remember his name, but he was talking about how he was laid off from the IRS or fired from the IRS. He said, of course, all his performance ratings were good.
Okay.
But what he said was, you know how it is. Newscasters, they try to empathize, but you know what they're really after. They're trying to pull information out, right?
Mhm.
So the headline reads, federal worker fired from job, voted for Trump 3 times. So she says, "Well, you voted for Trump 3 times." He says, "Yeah, I did. Do you regret that?" And he says, "No, I don't regret it, but I just don't understand why they came after veterans. You know, I'm a veteran. I served in Iraq, and I was just trying to make a living. Why did they have to go after veterans?" And she says, "What are you going to do now?" "Well, I don't know. I guess I'll go back to riding in a truck, but I don't know what to do." But I open up the comments because I'm expecting to see comments to say something like, "Hey, we're sorry. That's messed up. It's hard for us." Did you know 90% of the comments vilified this guy? It was like, "Oh, it's your fault," because he voted for Trump. It was like, "Oh, it's your fault. That's what you get. You're not very smart. I can tell. You get what you deserve."
Jesus.
Come on, y'all. Come on, y'all. This is hard on everybody, man. My public announcement to you guys is show a little bit of empathy, y'all. This is hard on everybody. It doesn't matter if you're from the left or you're from the right, if you're from the East Coast, West Coast, North Coast, South Coast, if you're from wherever. No one should feel satisfaction for somebody losing a job.
For no reason.
Nobody. We're supposed to be Americans. We're supposed to take care of each other. And yes, the American government is probably half-ways. But it's never a good thing when somebody loses a job. Because you think it's not bothering you, it's not affecting you. Oh, trust me. You never know. It will affect you in some ways. Whether you have folks who can't serve veterans at the VA, maybe because you have folks who maybe are farmers who can no longer do their job and you can't get the type of fruits or vegetables you need at a store. But to sum it all up, people, I'm just asking, come on, y'all. Show a little bit of class, a little bit of empathy, and don't stop getting so wrapped up in the left and the right. What about what is right? That's the most important thing. And I'll say this and I'll be quiet. I'll quote Stephen A. Smith. He said, "It's not about the left. It's not about the right. It's about common sense." And I agree. It's about common sense.
Whew. Man, what do I say? I'll just say I agree, but excuse me. I hate to say it's starting to get to the have and have nots. And the haves don't appreciate what they have. They just appreciate they're not a have not. And that's kind of sad. But it seems to be where it's headed towards, is in that direction.
Even if that's the case, I mean, you get to choose how you react.
True.
And yes, I will agree. It does feel that way. That if you are of a certain class,
Mm-hmm.
you are about to experience or already experiencing a lot of benefit.
Right.
And for those who are not in that class, I would argue instead of cutting down your neighbor who are not in that class, let's all find a way to hold our government responsible to ensure they take care of all Americans.
Or
put your energy in that versus, huh?
Go ahead. I'll let you.
No, I mean, put your energy in that versus trying to find a way to justify why it's okay or for people to experience misfortune from losing employment or from whatever reason that may be.
Or oh man. Nah. I won't say it. Okay. Or, figure out a way to work around it and not trying to go through it. Put a lot of energy in helping people and don't put a lot of energy in hurting people.
Okay. All right. Then I agree. I thought you was going a different direction. Okay. Then I agree with you 100%. Find a way to help people versus pointing fingers.
Yes.
And experiencing the joy of someone's misfortune.
Yep. Man, well, good show today. Good topics that we talked about. You just hear our opinions real quick. Quick hour show. Thank you, Nikki, for coming on. Thank you, Thomas White, for your comments. You will be able to watch all this if you go back on our YouTube, and we will cut this out so we will have quick 15 minutes if you want to watch about the Kirkland shooting, want to watch about the Elon Musk story or the Polestar story, if you want to watch about standards and review, or you want to watch this last one that we just talked about. Always up to you. 4 different episodes, all made to you in one. Come back. Unpopular Celebrities will be around a lot more with current events, talk about different things. Your comments are always welcome during the live show, and go back and watch us on YouTube. Maybe I'll put it out on the podcast too. Who knows? We'll see. Your thoughts in the night.
Yeah, thank y'all for listening. As always, if you ain't subscribed to YouTube, go ahead and subscribe there. Hit the bell. So that way you'll be notified when we go live or there's any shows on there. And while you're going back checking out the shows on YouTube, drop us a comment down there. Let us know how we did. Did we get something right? Did we get something wrong? You agree, disagree, or whatever? Drop a comment on there. That helps the algorithm.
Yep. So
we can get our views up. And that would help us and support us too. But we appreciate all you guys, and we look forward to the next one. I think we're going on when again?
Maybe Thursday.
Okay, so we will see y'all Thursday.
Thursday. We'll do Thursday.
Yeah, we will see y'all bright and not bright and early, but in the evening.
Late and early.
Night Thursday. Yeah.
All right. Unpopular Celebrities, y'all. We out of here.
Yes, we out.
Peace.
Go Birds.
What's your hat say?
It's a Pro Bowl hat. See, it's got the Eagles on there.
All right. Unpopular Celebrities. We out.
Yeah.